testifying, I'm flying above the circle. I got to find their watch as I plan to show you, and I climbed up the ladder. They don't know just what I'm holding. Electrifying, lifting you up and over again. They can't define us, an indestructible force to deal with. It never hurt us, there ain't no mercy out on the streets, but I'm with my brother. He tagged me and get somebody beat up. You can't even see us, but we put you up and over again. Testifying, I'm flying above the circle. I got to find their watch as I plan to show you, and I climbed up the ladder. They don't know just what I'm holding. Electrifying, lifting you up and over again.
Welcome to the Up and Over Podcast, a professional wrestling podcast where a bunch of marks discuss pro wrestling, where everything's a work and none of our opinions matter anyway. Let me introduce our eclectic duo from Wilmington, North Carolina. Firstly, Big Papa C, and the C stands for Carney Bullshit, Cortland.
What up?
And Kenny Omegle himself, his tag team partner, Patty Mills.
What's up? What's up? How's it going?
We have our Cadillac cowboy himself, Ethan.
Howdy, howdy.
There it is. And the lifeblood of the Up and Over Podcast, the man behind it all, streaming from his living room that looks like a guest bedroom, that is Casey El Gordo Gringo.
We are like 48 minutes behind schedule, and it's a fucking disaster.
Thus far.
Hey, at least we didn't have technical difficulties.
You know what, dude? Let's switch it up this week. I took a nap when I got home, and I finished this entire event before 10 o'clock. You don't know how easy it was being Mike Klinsky today.
I fucking hate that. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, all right. Well,
I'm happy for you, Mike. I'm happy for you.
It's fine. I'll fuck up my whole life next week for you, just for your entertainment, Casey. It's not a big deal.
Thank you.
Pat, thanks. I appreciate you. This week, fellas, on Up and Over Podcast, we have GCW's The Old Me from this past, I don't know, Saturday. Sunday? I don't know, whatever day.
It's Saturday.
Okay, great. From Harpo's Concert Theater in Detroit, Michigan. But before we get there, firstly, do we have any information about this week in professional wrestling? Any news? All right, Control Your Narrative is unfortunately still a company. Going into this event, guys.
Control Your Nutrition. They're selling that bland ass season for y'all white folks.
Yes. That's the news I need. That right there.
God.
Live at 5 with Patty Mills.
Live at 5. Making him sound like a noob. Sorry. Sorry, the stuff I'm not supposed to know about. I get it. Our first match on GCW's The Old Me was a 5-way scramble, which feels weird to say because typically it's a 6-man, but whatever. This match kicked off fully loaded with all competitors already in the ring. I knew that was going to get you torqued, Ethan. I knew it, and I watched you the whole way. We had Yo-Yo versus Jordan Oliver versus Tony Deppen versus Billy Starks versus Steve Scott. This was a fun opener, man. Everybody looked great, and I feel like they did their part, and the crowd was really into it. Yo-Yo had a big dive from the top of the speakers, which looked silly. Jordan Oliver hit a clout cutter on Steve Scott, but the opportunistic Tony Deppen gets the pinfall victory. I went 2.5 on it, and we are going to start this week with Big Ethan.
I like my eggs scrambled, and I like my scrambled, so let's bust down. This was a good old-fashioned opener. I loved Billy Starks and Yo-Yo being involved in this. This was one of my favorite scrambles in recent memory. A lot of the GCW scrambles, they're always fun, but some of them can just kind of feel like moves. In the middle of this was a lot of moves, but I thought Billy and Yo-Yo really added a lot to it. The biggest moment is, at the end when they sell how pissed they are that fucking Tony Deppen stole the win. And just throughout the match, the fire Billy had, and then the crazy shit Yo-Yo does that no one else can do. This is one of my favorite scrambles of the year. I just went 3 flat on it. It's nothing out of this world, but my favorite scramble of the year, unless I'm forgetting some crazy one that maybe have happened in January that I didn't see. But yeah, 3 flat on this. Shout out Billy Starks. She's fucking making the rounds at fucking 17. She's gonna be a star, bud. And then you got Yo-Yo, who's a fucking god. So 3 stars. And Tony Deppen. Casey, what's your favorite song this week, buddy?
Bro,
What's your favorite song?
I've literally had "We Built This City" on rock and roll stuck in my head, and I was fucking taken from me.
Dude,
Fucking
I went from like
audio issues, bro. They fucking you didn't get to listen to the fucking song.
Oh, did it go out during this?
Yeah, it cut out for like the last like minute and a half of the match. And then you didn't get it for the next like 5 minutes into the second match.
So I think if you replay the pay-per-view, they fixed all the audio issues.
I replayed it. That's how I watched it, and it was all fucked. It's fucked so much throughout this entire event.
It's a mess. Casey, what you got on this, man?
Let me see. I mean, I went like 2.5,
Meet
2 and 3/4. Like I'm in that kind of realm.
What you got written down?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Sometimes I do mine
He's gotta-
before, sometimes I do it after. I like to mix it up a little bit, keep you on your toes.
He's got to make sure his bucket hat's on straight before he starts spitting them facts.
Yeah, make sure it's not too tight. There was a spot to where Yo-Yo's in the Tree of Woe. He does a German to Deppen, who does a superplex to Starks. It's like a weird combination like that happens, but then he gets Yo-Yo's still in the Tree of Woe, gets a double drop kick from Scott and Oliver, and then Deppen picks up fucking Starks and then does a Death Valley driver into him. And I'm like, I get it, like you let the little man jump off of the giant fucking stage and all the things, and they're like, we're gonna fuck you up as like you get the cool spot, but like you're also gonna get the one that gets the most damage for it. It's honestly like a lot of fun. I think the end bit, just having no audio, irritated my soul, because it just seems to be a recurring problem with GCW, is that we keep having these audio problems. But it was a fun way to start the event.
Pat.
I went 3 flat. I like the scramble. I fuck with scrambles. Low key, like I do like scrambles. I mean, it is what you expect. You know, you get your. How the fuck do I explain this without not sounding like an asshole? You basically get the people that you don't like, your hitters that aren't like booked for a match, and you have them all get their shit off in a match. And like that's what scrambles are to me. But I always fuck with them. I never like shit on them. This one was a good one. Like I feel like everybody got their shit off equally. I love the sequence that ended with the. I'm not gonna go through all the moves again, but the one that ended with the Death Valley driver.
Yeah.
True. Well, like that shit was sick as fuck. And Billy Starks, got her shit off. Yo-Yo's getting his shit off. I didn't really. I'm not gonna say I didn't like the fucking crossbody from the top of the PA, but like it was. They caught him, so like he's a really small person. So it was like, it was funny. I laughed, but I mean, I don't know. I like
they added a lot of extra like ring crew people to that dive, and I'm like, I'm like, was that necessary? He weighs 75 pounds.
I loved the shot though, because when he lands, you literally see the absolutely no stage diving sign. Right,
it's so good.
That shit's fucking. That's honestly a perfect fucking shot. But yeah, I went 3 stars. You got nothing fucking negative to say.
Cortland.
I went 3. Y'all have said everything. I mean, it's a scramble match. They did a lot of cool stuff. All the notes I have are all the spots that we've already mentioned because those are the highlights. But Oliver hit a hell of a German suplex on the Starks in the beginning of this match that popped me pretty big. I think there's a lot of people in this match that you're going to have your eyes on in the coming years when people just continue to develop and do cool things. I mean, it's a hell of an opener for what is a crazy event. So, I mean, no complaints. It's fun. 3.
Ethan, I just wanted to be known that I'm disappointed in you because we did see Alec Price versus Gringo Loco versus Jack Cartwheel versus Jimmy Lloyd versus Jordan Oliver versus Nick Wayne versus Ninja Mac. Not a big deal. Casual. But yeah, this is the best scramble that you've seen this year. Not a big deal. I'm not upset. Our next match, don't
act like that was off the top of your head, though. You fucking looked
that shit up. Here, buddy. Did you go on Cage Match, or what you doing?
No. My brain went, we definitely saw one at Joey Janela's Spring Break Night 1, and we did, and it was a fucking banger.
It was a banger.
So much of a banger that you did this. You grabbed me by my shoulder, and you're like, oh, shit. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's fine. That's all good. I'm not upset. Our next match was a great match. We had Nick Wayne taking on Alex Shelley. The audio issues throughout this event really hindered my enjoyment of the event because I feel like we got robbed of an Alex Shelley hometown reaction. But even still, this was a fucking blast. Nick Wayne's going to be a big deal in pro wrestling over the next 2 decades, and man, what better partner to put him with here than Alex Shelley? Shelley worked the leg after a figure 4, and Wayne was compromised. Then Wayne worked the arm and shoulder of Shelley, and he was compromised. I just really loved it, and none of that in the end mattered, right? You had Alex Shelley pick up a pinfall victory after like a reverse STO, if I'm not mistaken, or a DDT. It was one or the other. I went 3.5, man. I thought this was probably the best match on the card. I love Alex Shelley. I love Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne's a blast. And yeah, this just felt great. I just wish the audio didn't suck ass cheeks on this entire feed. Casey.
I went 3.25. Full transparency, when it was announced that Nick Wayne was got to be signed with AEW, I was the first person in the group chat to be like, who the fuck is Nick Wayne? I had no idea.
But no, the Nick Wayne thing, I dropped that shit in the chat. Everyone no-sold me. Who the fuck's Nick Wayne? What the fuck?
I will say I was the first person to be like, I have no fucking idea who Nick Wayne is. And that wasn't like a shock. I just literally didn't know. Like, honestly, I hadn't really watched a lot of GCW prior to like that. And from then on, I was like, okay, if he's going to be on a lot of these, I started catching up. And I started watching pretty much almost every event that I physically can. And I can understand why he's fucking 17 and he's got a contract already.
You got a bag waiting on him.
And like, as Mike said, like, this was perfectly a match of like, hey, do you want to get a nice lesson on how to fucking work one body part for a whole match and sell that shit? Because like, that's what they did, and they did a great job at it. And like, yeah, minus Ethan literally showing us what it was like to have no audio for 5 minutes. Like, it was a fun match, and like, yeah, it's nice to see Nick with some of these really seasoned people, and then being able to have a really good match. And like, you can almost kind of like watch like, oh, like I'm learning at the same time he is. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all kind of like, everyone's having a nice little class on like, this is how you fucking do something. And like, it was enjoyable. So.
Wow. Watching Nick work with seasoned people. Seasoned with control your nutrition? Sorry. Pat, what you got?
I fucking hate you, man.
I just broke Ethan.
You got Ethan, dude. You had to cover up.
The disrespect.
I went 3.5 stars. This was a seasoned match. Seasoned with that sweet CYN seasoning.
You do not disrespect Alex Shelley with this seasoning, bro. Alex Shelley has a brain. Alex Shelley has a brain. The man went to college. He has a brain.
Can this be our clip and we tag Adam Scher in it and see if he wants to fight us?
God.
Dude, Adam Scher can't even spell his own name.
Look.
No love.
All right. Before we get 3.5 stars, man. I said this last week, or no, I said this the other day when we were watching this pay-per-view all together, that we get to talk about Nick Wayne this week, and I don't think it's a thing that really has happened on this podcast. And I'm happy that it is happening, because like, the dude is, as they say in the hood, next up. He is next to blow, man. He has a bag waiting for him. All he has to do is graduate high school, apparently, and I think that's fucking cool as shit. But yeah, that's the stipulation, and then the contract goes in effect, and then we get to see like what everybody's talking about. And I mean, I didn't know who Nick Wayne was 6 months ago. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm fucking tuned in now. I've been paying attention to a lot of his matches as of recent, and I've caught up on a lot of his shit. And I mean, the hype is real. It's fucking real shit. And to put him with Alex Shelley in this match as a showcase of like what you need to learn and where you need to be, like, it's a fucking good match, man. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I went 3.5 stars.
I like it. Cortland.
I went 3.5 too. I think that Alex Shelley is definitely the guy you put in the ring with a 17-year-old to show him a lot of cool shit. And it's not even really that Nick Wayne needs to be shown a whole lot of stuff. I mean, the kid's got all the tools to be really the next big thing, like Pat said. But Alex Shelley's that guy that can go out there, second match on the card, fourth match, it doesn't matter. They're going to have a hell of a performance with each other. They're going to sell each other stuff great. Both of them sold limb targeting the best they could. I loved it. I believed it. I think Shell Shock is still a hell of a finisher. I love it. The finish being near the ropes. It has that kind of like continuous idea there. I hope that they just keep going and pumping that shit out, because I think these two can do a lot in a short amount of time that really elevates, and like it doesn't give you a breather, but it kind of gives you a different match than what you normally get in your GCW of like super gimmick filled tag matches like your Bussy match. I mean, it's gimmick filled, you know. That's not straight. It's a difference between that match and this match. There's a difference between almost every single match on this card, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like this match is a really good fresh air after what you see in the first match, and then what you're gonna get after this.
Okay, Ethan.
I went 3.5 as well. Alex Shelley, as Mike knows, is one of my, I guess you could say, all-time hidden favorites. I will watch an Alex Shelley match any day of the week. There's not a bad Alex Shelley match out there. I fuck with Alex Shelley, bro, and I think putting Nick Wayne with somebody like him is gonna help Nick Wayne not get caught up in the bad habits of the style that he works. I'm not going to name someone that I think he could unfortunately become with the style he's working, but I think if you keep him with these guys like Alex Shelley,
what the heck? Go ahead.
Is that person's name rhyme with Madame Dole?
Yeah, I mean, that's as obvious as it gets in my brain,
no,
dude.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No. I don't think Nick Wayne could ever become that self-indulgent. I think he'll be fine.
Y'all thought we weren't going to get some cold slander on this podcast. I was going to make it happen.
I hate this because I own an Adam Cole t-shirt.
So go ahead. Who are you talking about? Him falling into habits to be?
It's going to cause distress amongst this group, so I don't want to do it because everyone here likes this person.
Go ahead.
I just don't want him to become big match Will Ospreay.
That's fair.
That's all I don't want. I don't want 10 years from now me to be watching Nick Wayne, or even 5 years from now watching Nick Wayne in the Best of Super Juniors just flipping around all match and everyone gives it 5 stars because it's a cool GIF. But no more ranting, buddy. This match fucking rocks. 3.5.
Shit, bro, that's why we got a platform.
Yeah, it is, buddy. So, no, this was a great match. I don't need to talk about it anymore. I just love how focused it was. Nick Wayne had an awesome match against Swerve earlier this year that if you haven't seen, you should definitely go out of the way and see. That, to me, is the best.
Watch that match.
It's the best Nick Wayne match of the year, but this is a close second for sure. It's just so different than any match I think Nick Wayne has really had. So I'd like to see more of it based off of the finish as well. So
I do just want to not to give any protection to Mr. Ospreay, but apparently his match against Blake Christian, I believe the night prior or the same night as this, was fucking phenomenal. I saw clips of it and it looks fucking great. But yeah, I do agree where you're coming from.
All right, our next match. I feel really bad giving this to you, Pat, because it's coming to you. Cortland said, only write one note for this match. And so I did. So it's ACH versus Chris Dickinson, and the only thing that I have is a quote, and it says, the sweat molecules define the story. I went 2 3/4. So, Pat.
This is hilarious that you gave me this, because I literally forgot about this fucking match. I remember it now that it was brought up, but I completely forgot about this match.
I did too. Whenever I made that joke, I thought the tag match was next.
Yeah. And honestly, dude, I don't really have that many notes about it either. I didn't hate the match. I think I rated it. Yeah, I gave it 3.25. Like I didn't hate it. It's just like
definitely not.
I don't know. It was obviously forgettable.
Yeah.
But I don't hate. I feel like a lot of people. I feel like I'm gonna talk some shit right now. I feel like a lot of people like hate on ACH. And I get it. Because like I mean I get it, bro. The whole like Stone Cold ACH get the shit, the gimmick or whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like ACH is an amazing wrestler, and I feel like this match he got to like show like, yo, I can still fucking run with the best of them. Like I still am a fucking really really sick wrestler. Like I feel like he got a lot of wrestling off in this match. I don't really fuck with Chris Dickinson like that personally. He don't do shit for me, man. I'm sorry.
Sometimes I think we're the same person. We have very similar opinions on some people, bro. Because I feel the same way. Not to interrupt your point, but to kind of just support you in it. I think ACH is a better wrestler now than he's ever been. Is he as popular as he was? Has he have as many jiffable moments as he used to? No. But bell to bell, ACH is at the top of his game. And I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before he just needs to find his groove, and find what fully works for him as far as getting people back invested in ACH. Because, not to go into my take on this match, but my issue with a lot of his matches now is I'm not gripped and invested in it, but I think they're better than a lot of his old matches, as weird as that sounds, because I know I have weird takes, but I totally back your... Yeah.
No, I mean, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like he's a really, really good wrestler, man. I feel like it's coming. He just, like you said, needs to find his groove. I wish that I had more to say about this match, but there really isn't too much about it, man. It's just like...
Your finish was Chris Dickinson winning via Bulldog choke, and then after the match, he puts over ACH for the Detroit crowd.
Yeah.
That's really the big thing, and it really follows the Chris Dickinson script, it feels like. That's why it was all right, man. It did nothing really for me. Cortland.
I mean, this beat my expectations, honestly. I gave it right at 3. It could be 2 3/4, right at 3. There's a lot of sweat in this match. I feel like every German, someone's just like sliding halfway across the ring. A few times as they're walking, I'm just like, he's going to die if he tries to pick him up. Like, he's going to fucking slip. He's going to land on his head. It's going to be awful. But hey, they did some cool stuff here. The strikes were the chops and forearms definitely believable. Like I said, there's some good, scary Germans in here. I'm not a huge fan of Dickinson. ACH, like they said, just has that dark cloud around him at the moment. And that's cool. He can have sunnier days or sunny days. There's not a whole lot to give on this match.
Gotcha. Ethan, I know you said a few things, but go ahead, bud.
I went 2.5 on the match. I don't think it's bad, but I also don't think they did anything that anyone's going to remember.
Oh,
really?
Brainbuster. ACH Brainbuster looked great. That was my other note in this match. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like they're still pushing Dickinson, which I understand. I mean, he's been that guy for a little bit for a lot of those promotions up there. Dickinson's good. He's not for me. ACH is somebody that I want to see succeed, and I get bummed out sometimes when we were in Atlanta, and if that would have been 6 years ago and ACH would have came out, the pop would have been tremendous, and he comes out now and it's like people don't even know who he is, and it sucks because he's one of those guys who really was in the heat of that wave when the indies were hot before NXT killed it. And now he's just kind of, it's like people just don't care, and not to say that they've been given a reason to really care, but as someone who used to really love him, like seeing him now be a better wrestler, actually in ring, well-rounded than he ever was when he was more popular. It's like, damn, dude, this guy needs to get his due, And with that in mind, if you watch this match and you didn't really care for it and you're wondering what we see in ACH, I'd go and watch his match with Mike Bailey from West Coast Pro. a few months back. They fucking went the fuck in. It's one of my favorite matches of the year. So I'm glad ACH got this booking. I hope they keep bringing him around. And Dickinson did his thing too. You know, just because he's not my cup of tea doesn't mean that what he does, you know, isn't for somebody and that it isn't working. You know, Dickinson's, you know, good for what he is. So they put in a good effort here. I can't give it less than 2.5.
Casey.
I give it 2 3/4. I'll be the lone one on this one where I do currently fuck with Dickinson. I think it's mainly because I'm excited for him coming back from a pretty gnarly like injury and then kind of like getting right back into things, getting the New Japan contract, like all that kind of stuff lining up for him. I'm just excited for him. And I'm just excited to see where it's coming. I almost feel like they were like, how would I work a fucking New Japan match? And like, this is what they were trying to go for. And I don't know if it like, I was just disappointed because I was expecting like a different offense from ACH out of it. And I didn't get it. So like, I don't know if I just was like, I felt like I wanted more. There was so much sweat in that goddamn ring. They had to take a break to wipe up sweat. Like, it was so much.
Crazy amount.
I didn't think about it until Mike made the comment of it, but it kind of had a very similar finish to his Bloodsport match with Suzuki. Where it was like, it kind of ended. Everyone's just like, okay. And then he was like, hey, I got to put this guy over, though. Like, and it's like, you don't really need to fucking do that. Like, if
we were here for him.
Yeah. Like, it... I don't know. I do say I want ACH to keep coming back and get these different matches, and so we can get more from him. Because I just don't know if it was just not stylistically the best way for them to go about this one. But
2 3/4.
Yep.
I like it. God damn, this is of course going to Cortland. We get Bussy, Alley Catch, and Effie, the champions, defending against ASF and Gringo Loco for the GCW World Tag Team
I
Championships.
can't wait to hear your take, sir.
I get it. Effie is probably not for everyone, but the opening sequence between
Bussy is for everyone, man.
For sure.
Bussy
That's what I'm saying, bro.
The opening sequence between him and Gringo Loco, where he does that fucking lucha arm drag, popped me big. I loved it. I feel like you can like put Effie in anything and he molds to it, and I enjoy that. ASF hits a big splash from the top of Gringo's shoulders on the top rope, and that was great. Bussy eventually isolate ASF, and they hit a Doomsday Sack Rider to retain. Typing that in my notes and reading that out loud is bonkers.
Sack Rider.
Doomsday Sack Rider.
There was 2 Sack Riders in this match.
I went 2 3/4. Cortland, be gentle.
Oh, I'm being gentle. 2.5.
Go ahead, bud. Say what you got to say. It's all good.
I was about to pass it off, but I'll say the good things about this match that I have. ASF hit a great hurricane on Effie. That looked great. There's frog splash from ASF that looked fantastic. Loco hit a moonsault that looked great. There's some cool stuff in here. It's not that I'm not a fan of Effie. I actually enjoy a lot of Effie's matches. It is comical. It's the, ha-ha stuff, and I can get behind all that. A lot of times I don't enjoy alley catch matches. I've probably enjoyed a very small handful of them, and it feels like the only time I do, it's when she's not the forefront of the match. But that doesn't say that she didn't do well here. They're just not for me. And I'll just say that. I think that they did a great job and that crowd loved this match. But not for me. Go ahead.
GCW loves Bussy. Bussy is fine. Bussy is for everyone. Ethan. Ethan.
Hello. How's it
Jesus
going?
Christ.
What's up? I'm on the pod. Yeah. Oh yeah. Huh? I
Stop,
went 2
stop
3/4.
moving around in your fucking chair and give us your notes on the match.
I went 2 3/4. Let me see if I did have any notes. I liked Bussy being the tag champs. I mean, Effie and Allie are two of the hardest working people GCW's had. And I think they more than deserve it. No diss to the Briscoes, but I mean, if the Briscoes can get the straps as soon as they show up, Effie and Allie deserve a run with them, easily. And you can run Briscoes SGC, as we saw tonight, without the straps. You know, they don't need it, and Effie and Allie deserve it. And it also gives you a spot to always highlight them on the card, and they always bring something different. Just like all these cards, just about everything on it always brings something different. And Effie and Alley Catch can adapt to working anybody. You can put Effie in there with Suzuki. You can put Effie in there, you know, with Gringo and ASF. Anywhere you put Effie, he's not going to look out of place.
He
because
did death
Effie is
matches.
Effie.
He literally did Tournament of Survival, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure, like a couple years
Yes,
ago. Like,
I mean, he's done everything you can do. You know, it's Effie is Effie. Effie is fine. Effie is great. Gringo and ASF especially getting a lot of fucking flowers lately. So seeing him flip around was fun. Gringo is always a blast, and Gringo somehow hoisting Effie up to do his fucking finisher off the top was fucking nuts. Because I know Effie's not known for being a big guy, but he's not a small guy. And for Gringo, he's significantly bigger than Gringo Loco. And so for him to hoist him up and them not royally fuck that up was,
yeah, it was
I think,
like
a testament to.
It was very clean.
Yes, I think it's a testament to, you know, how good both of those guys are at, you know, delivering when they commit to something. So, I mean, I went 2 3/4 on it. It's a good break in the action. And, I mean, there was action in this. You know, I mean, it's hard to judge these matches, you know, because they're kind of just their own little thing. So, yeah, that's all I got. Yeah.
Casey.
I'm going to read a quote.
Our first one of the night.
As
second one. Sorry.
As Gringo and ASF are coming to the ring, they're getting their opportunity to dive eyebrow first into Bussy.
Oh, wow.
That fed back. Which then is followed up with, there's no better place to put the thermometer than the Bussy.
What?
Whoa.
Yes, sir.
Those are two things that are said almost back to back.
I feel like that fed back because we had to hear the impact of that statement, you know?
There's like a couple of extra Bussy comments in there, but then it jumps straight into putting the thermometer into Bussy. And I was like, all right, well, I'm writing this down.
Comment Bussy if you got this far on YouTube.
Bussy.
Right.
Code word
Bussy.
Bussy.
With 5.
Watching you say Bussy, like, as impactful.
Bussy.
You look like a
Bussy.
super villain.
I want to make sure it's enunciated.
Mega
The
Mind.
fucking bucket hat.
Damn, bro.
The Bussy bucket head. I gave it a 3. It's fine. The only like real notable thing that I had was like, I don't know if there was a timing issue or what the problem was, but both times that Alley Catch tried to put ASF into a powerbomb position, there had to be multiple attempts, and I'm just like, are we dead weighting that? And she's not like, you're not allowing her to get you all the way up, or what's our problem here? Because both times it was like, I'm like, you gotta help a little bit on the coming up there. But yeah, it was fine, you know. Bussy
is fine.
Bussy. I just want to know how many times I can say it in an episode.
I gave it a nice 3 stars. It's straight. It's solid. I try not to shit on it. There's nothing really negative to say, I guess. It's just, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't have nothing negative to say, honestly. It just wasn't the greatest match I've ever seen in my life. But whatever.
You gave it 3 though.
Exactly. Because it wasn't bad. And I'm being nice. I'm a gentleman. So a gentleman's fucking 3. I'm gonna say some shit though. I fuck with Bussy, bro. Honestly.
I want to get a little. I just want to get a little Bussy counter in the corner of the screen just to see how many times we
The
fucking
word
say it.
Bussy has been uttered.
I want you to know that I'm gonna guarantee it that there's gonna be a Bussy counter in the corner because Casey doesn't have it in him to say that and not edit that in. Like,
I mean, you don't
But
gotta
you know,
call
like-
me out like that, but yeah.
I've seen the Bussy matches. I've seen the Bussy play. I've seen how Bussy gets down, bro, and I'm rocking with it, bro. I've seen Effie wrestle. I feel like every type of match this year, and jokes aside, like honestly, I feel like that dude deserves his fucking flowers, man. I've seen this dude literally wrestle every fucking type of match this year that you can really ask for, and it's not an easy task. Especially like when you're not getting like, I don't want to say it like this, but when you're not getting fed checks, like that's not, and you don't have to do that fucking shit. So this motherfucker's extremely passionate about what the fuck he does, and he puts a lot of fucking time and effort into it, and I respect the fuck out of it. ASF is out here grinding and making a lot of fucking plays and doing a lot of shit, and I'm glad that he's getting his flowers right now. Everybody saw like the Chris Jericho repost. I think they mentioned it during the match, so I'm glad that like,
Yep.
I'm just like happy for every person in this match. I feel like watching this match, I was more focused on that, just like the trajectory of all their careers in the next few years, because it's like, it's cool, man. It's real good shit.
And sometimes that's all you really need. You know what I mean? Like everything don't have to be this mechanically sound. Oh, fantastic that they were selling and they were doing that. Just man, sometimes especially in independent wrestling, you know what I mean? It's just like be happy that these people get this platform and are able to still make a living doing this and something that is not nearly as popular as it used to be.
Exactly.
That there's people like Effie and there's people like Gringo Loco who Mike has talked to more than me because I'm very anxious about talking to people in public. But
He follows me on Twitter.
These people. Yeah, because you got that bucket hat on, Buck, and you're a gringo. So, so just seeing people, when you see people like Effie and Alley Catch and Gringo Loco, I've never interacted with ASF, but Effie and Gringo and Alley, who, I never went up and talked to them because that's not my thing. I'm not good with talking to people like that, especially people I guess you could say sort of look up to and watch. But they are so nice and interactive with fans, and they love fucking wrestling. So I can't mutter myself to sit here and find all these flaws when and sure there's flaws here or there, but at the end of the day, they're people just like us that have trained and are getting to go and do what they love and express themselves in that way.
Exactly.
And I just can't bring myself to take a shit all over them for it.
Facts.
Yeah. ASF
That's probably the realest thing that's ever been said on this podcast.
Yes. Antonio San Francisco is going to have a fucking blast of a career, man. I don't know if I've seen like a bad match of his, just to throw it out there. Our next match, we got Joseph Janela versus Bandito. Joseph selling the leg from the battle the night before attacking Bandito and running the ropes like he's an NFL player running a 40-yard dash. Made me laugh so fucking hard.
It was so fucking funny.
I'm just gonna say, if you didn't see what his fucking foot looked like in that photo, it's gross as shit.
It looked bad.
It was so
vile.
bad. I was like, I don't know how they're gonna do this. And he started sprinting. I was like, you're a piece of shit.
Janela's really on the run of his career, man. And Bandito fucking rocks. Joseph goes for some idiotic dive from the stage, which Bandito counters into a fucking cutter on the apron. Bandito hits he hits the 24-plex, but Joseph counters his follow-up move and rolls Bandito up with the tights for the pin. God damn you, Joseph Janela. Post-match, Janela drinks out of the fan's piss jug, and Kevin Gill has an all-time call while getting disgusted about it and talks about a piss cloak to hide this fan's dick while he pisses in public. It was...
Didn't he scream, I thought we got rid of the piss?
I thought we got rid of the piss.
Because they had a spot the night before with it, so he's like, why the fuck is there more piss?
All that needs to be quoted here is Dave fucking Prazak, the Hall of Fame god. It's green tea, man.
You're fucking with kayfabe.
I went 3.5, and Ethan, you went...
So apparently these guys, and just because I'm a PWG dork, I bring it up because I haven't seen their PWG match, but they referenced it on commentary. So apparently they were in the semifinals of the Battle Los Angeles in 2018, and that's the only other singles match they've had, and that was 4 years before this. So this was a first time match for me because of that. But truthfully, I feel like just because in 2018 both of these guys were a little bit hotter than they are right now. I mean, Joey's kind of hot right now, but Bandito was on the best run he's had back then. So I feel like I want to go back and watch that and watch this to compare because I didn't really care for this or care about it really. It's a dream match in a sense because these guys are two big mainstays on the independents for in the last 5 years. So I feel like it should have had a bit of a bigger feel than it did. But I also just feel like I kind of knew what I was going to get. And so it was hard for me to watch, and sit there and really act like something unexpected was going to happen. Because, and admittedly, Joey Janela did try to do some really dumb shit, but that's expected, this dive off the stage cutter thing, it's expected, not that it's good or bad, but it's just like, and respect to Joey, Joseph, Invisible Man, whatever you want to call this man. I don't know, I don't know, dude. 2
It's
3/4.
Joseph.
I don't have nothing else.
Legally, his name is Joseph, and that's what it is. So I'm going with Joseph.
I'm gonna go 2 3/4. There's nothing else that I have to say about this contest.
Casey.
God damn it, man.
Nothing else I have to say about
This contest.
Move forward, please. To the bucket hat, man.
God fucking damn it. 3 1/4. I honestly was like legitimately worried going into this, being like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Because I saw the photo of Joseph's foot. And I was like, this is not gonna be good, dude. And like I didn't get to watch it live, but I ended up getting to see the tweets from Joseph afterwards being like, I fucked up my foot before the match for the PWG match, and then it's just kind of funny that full circle it happened again. So I was like, how the fuck are they pulling this off again? And then he starts fucking sprinting around like nothing's wrong, and I was like, this is just the biggest piece of shit on the indies right now. Him setting up for that cutter spot, I'm like, nothing that's gonna happen right now is gonna be good. Like, you're on top of this gigantic stage, Bandito's on the fucking ring apron, and I'm like, what the fuck are you gonna do? This is not your wheelhouse. And then it ends up being a cutter, and I'm like, all right, well, that's fucking something. It was just interesting from start to finish, but I didn't necessarily hate it. So yeah, 3 1/4.
Pat.
That's not
Meet
my rating.
me. Meet me.
I was looking at that.
That's not my rating.
What would you go? What'd you write down?
That's not my rating. That's the average rating on Grapple. It's honestly the only match I didn't rate on this fucking card, to be really. I didn't enjoy this. I'm gonna go 3 even. Where do you went? 2 3?
He went
2 3/4.
Yeah, 2 3. I'm going 2 3. I didn't enjoy this match. To be honest with you, and I'm not shitting on either of these wrestlers. I fuck with them both. I love Joey Janela and I fuck with Bandito heavily. I just didn't enjoy this match that much. It didn't do really anything for me. I liked the beginning sequence. The match was decent. The cutter off stage ended it for me. I was just like, I don't want to watch this shit anymore.
Just grew tired.
I don't really have anything positive to say about it, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Same as me.
Cortland.
I didn't hate it really at all. I went 3 1/4. I thought they did some cool stuff here and there. Janela hit a pile driver, like a leaping pile driver. That was pretty damn cool.
That was cool.
Benito hit a cool frog splash. Salute to Eddie. Like you said, selling of the foot on social media. Joey Janela getting the shitty roll up, pull on the tights. Typical Joseph Janela heel shit. You gotta love it, They're gonna run it back. They're gonna do it. It's gonna be better than this one. Don't try that dumb shit, that cutter again. Stop doing cutters. When did the cutter become the new super kick? The fuck is this?
Take my shit, but for real though, when did this cutter become the new super kick?
You know when? I can tell you when.
Please tell me.
Google up PWG 2018 RKO party.
Yep.
Thank you.
And guess who did it?
Fucking
Guess
Bucks.
who did it? Adam
Real
Cole.
Adam
Oh,
Cole.
fuck. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
We hate him.
True.
I don't hate him. I don't hate Adam Cole at all. But
Adam Cole and the
I feel
almighty
like my
Chris
subconscious
Brothers
does.
and Sammy Callahan.
Oh, Sammy. All right, that's all I gotta say. Really.
Oh,
Just
great.
less cutters, please.
Our next match was Too Cold Scorpio versus Minoru Suzuki, a battle between two legends. This initially followed the Suzuki in America script, with the two trading disgusting amounts of chops and shit, and the crowd loved it. You know, Suzuki's kind of an old man, and he's like, I'm just going to give the people what they really want, and they just want to see me chop the shit out of people and no sell other people's moves. This was fun in a nostalgic way, as it really does feel like a dream match of sorts. Suzuki hits the Gotch-style piledriver for the pinfall victory. Both men shake hands and pose to the crowd after the match. This was a 2 3/4 match, man. It wasn't the greatest. It was kind of clunky and shitty at times, but fuck if it wasn't fun. Casey.
I fucking agree with everything you just said, dude.
Because it's true. My first note is this considered elderly abuse? It has been said 1,000 times probably. I love Minoru Suzuki to death. He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Too Cold Scorpio, it's just fun to see him out and doing shit. It was something. It honestly, like, the whole reason why I made us switch gears to do this freaking pay-per-view is because I wanted to see what the fuck they had in store for us. And yeah, it basically was just like, I'm just gonna just chop the ever-living fuck out of you. And I mean, Too Cold Scorpio held his own. He kind of he fucked up a crescent kick at one point, which is a little awkward. But like, I mean, they're both what? They said Scorpio's fucking 56.
They're both too old to be doing this shit.
They're both old as fuck dealing with this shit. So, the 3 because I respect both of them. But yeah, good lord.
Yeah, 56 for Mr. Scorpio.
I just want to get it off my chest. Can we fucking stop with the murder grandpa chant? I'm over it. I think it's just.
I'd love that.
I understand that he's old.
I would love that.
But also like. You fucking clap to the beat of the song, you do the chant, and then you shut the fuck up. You don't disrespect Minoru Suzuki, but I don't even know if he has children, to be honest. So just immediately jumping into grandpa is like super fucking offensive.
Tell me you get excited to watch New Japan Strong every week without telling me you get excited to watch New Japan Strong every week by chanting "Murder Grandpa" unironically.
Yep.
I just feel like people forget that he had 50 professional mixed martial arts like matches. 50.
Kind of helped shape the fucking sport.
Like, yes, absolutely.
Like,
he started his career in he started like fighting before I was alive, and he had his most recent match in 2013, which he won by a knee bar in 2 minutes. This is a legit fucking badass, a dude that will literally beat your ass and is a for real King of Pancrase champion. Sorry.
a real one.
So what'd you go here, Casey?
I give it 3.
Okay.
I respect.
You said 3? I said
Yeah.
3. Yeah, I mean, dude. You don't go into this match expecting to see the greatest match you've ever seen in your life. You watch it for literal nostalgic purposes. And, I mean, it is what you could expect and what you really fucking want, dude. I said it to Corlin earlier. I think it's crazy that Suzuki has literally been wrestling the same match for about 5 months, and it's not a single one of these matches have been boring. They've all been extremely entertaining. It's like a simple blueprint that isn't simple for most people.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fucking fix it. And it's not fucking broken. This shit is working like a fine-tuned machine. Suzuki is a fucking god. I love it. Too Cold Scorpio is out the house right now doing this shit as well. It was just watching two fucking uncles fucking fight at the barbecue, man. I fucking enjoyed that shit, dude. Like,
Was I the only one that legitimately wanted Scorpio to land a 450 splash?
I did too. I was like,
When he got up for that fucking moonsault, I was like, fucking turn around. I was like, turn around, motherfucker, go for it.
I cannot believe he did the flipping leg drop.
Yeah.
I was like, stop, no. I was like, no more.
Your hips.
Oh, man.
He still does it. Cortland.
I guess I'm supposed to give it a 3.
No, you don't have to.
Do whatever you want, give it, bro.
I gave it 2 3/4.
Okay.
But
I gave it.
I want to give it a 3 because I love the both of them. I respect the both of them tremendously. I want to give it that gentleman's 3. As a match, was I entertained? So. It was 2 3/4. They did a lot of cool stuff. I love the Gotch style pile driver. I'll always love Suzuki doing a rear naked choke for about 5 seconds and then doing the pile driver. I'll always love that spot. Like Pat said, Suzuki doing his match for the last few months, which is just, I'm going to eat all of your chops and I'm going to have my tongue out and slap the shit out of you a lot.
Yeah.
And hey, man, it works and I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time doing it. This match is just about, I mean, dude, if we could have ran this 10 years ago, 12 years ago on a big pay-per-view, someone with a lot of promotion, I mean, this shit would have sold great. And they might have done it, and I'm just wrong and just don't know my history of their feuds, but
nobody gave a fuck about Minoru Suzuki 10 years ago. Like, he wasn't as big in America as he was now. I'll say it. I don't give a fuck.
He was still popping off in New Japan, though.
But that's the thing. He's always been loved and revered in Japan.
Huge here now, dude. Like, there's a reason he's able to tour by himself. As a freelance wrestler.
It's
like
fucking crazy, man.
Dude, it's wild.
He's just gonna cave in as many chests as he fucking can.
And fucking keep doing it, man. As long if you're fucking making money and you're getting these fucking checks off, and like people are fucking literally driving out, flying out to go see you, dude. Fucking keep doing it, dude.
Yeah.
I will say there was one particular chop that he did to Scorpio. That Scorpio like looked at him like, "What the fuck just like?" He was like, "Ow!" Like he was like, he went back and he's like, "Fuck you!" Like he took a step back for a second. And was like, "I don't want to do this anymore." And Suzuki's like, "Come on."
Yeah, I feel like the only time I really had a complaint about the audio problems, throughout this event, was in this match. Because I mean, Suzuki's appeal is to hear that chop,
shit, yeah.
You know, and if you don't get half of those, you lose half of this match. You know, so
like
that's really my only gripe with it. So that's why my main 2 3/4. If I watched it back full audio, I'm sure I'd love it.
Ethan.
I don't have a lot to say, but I also don't have a lot negative to say, even though I'm the one giving the lowest rating here.
You gave it 2 1/4, didn't you?
No, 2.5.
2 1/8.
No, they deserve a full half, buddy. But no, I didn't go into this with really any expectation. I just kind of went into this with just the idea of like, this is cool that this is happening. So anything they did was not going to let me down because, you know, these men are 50-something years old. They don't have to go out there and show their ass. Too Cold Scorpio is not Tomohiro Ishii. You know, he's not going to go out there and do that style of match. You know, this is just two legends working a house match, man. And what the fuck else, man? These dudes, they don't owe us shit. They've gave us a fucking enough. You know what I mean? I don't need to see fucking Suzuki beat the shit out of Scorp because I don't want to fucking see it. I want to see them have some fucking fun, bro. Like,
yeah,
dude, the crowd loved it.
Straight up.
I mean, first 10 seconds, I think Scorpio hit Suzuki with a chop, and the whole crowd started chanting, "You fucked up." And like, dude, Scorpio's face sold the shit out of it. Suzuki sold it, and it's just one of those. It's just one of those things where it's like there's such an old school way of doing it that it still stands the test of time, and like you're proving that you can touch each other 2 times, and the entire crowd is off their feet.
I think it was after
knowing how to do it.
I think it was after like the headbutt battles Suzuki goes to hit the ropes and goes, "Fuck you!" And it's like he doesn't speak a crazy amount of English, but every time he fucking does shit like that, it's hilarious. Like,
Dude,
The only things I've
I
heard
would
him
pay
say
to go to a
is
seminar with
"fuck
him.
you."
That's
Yeah,
it.
the only things I've heard him say is "fuck you" and "get the fuck up." That's like it.
Yep. There was, what did he say? After one event, he was like, "GCW, I fucking love you," and I was like, yes! Dude, I just loved it, man. It's so good, so good. It's everything that you
The only
want.
other thing I want to add is just I think this run he's on with the variety of opponents he's facing, I just think it's awesome. You know, when he does finally hang it up, he's gotten more than just 5-star New Japan matches to show. He's came and toured the U.S. and wrestled any and everybody, you know, with no selfishness in any of these matches. You know, he's given Effie the same amount he gave Scorp. You know, he's given Homicide the same he's given Mox. You know, he's given to everyone over here. And I think
Has
that
anyone
really
watched
shows.
Dark Elevation?
all
I
I've
don't
seen
give
is
a
the
fuck about
fucking
Marshall,
clip
but,
of him elbowing QT into another dimension. He
Dude,
fucking that forearm so nasty.
That match was fun as hell. I honestly enjoyed it. I think QT did a hell of a job, and you could tell he's like QT's in the ring straight fangirling. You know, like he's so happy that he's in the ring with Suzuki. So it was really cool. He got to do like a bunch of those old school Suzuki spots that you get to see, and like Suzuki had fun doing his stuff. Like they had a good house show. Like it feels like when they got in the back, they were like, "Hell yeah, man, that was fun," and like hugged. You know, like it was just like a feel good match. It was very weird and interesting.
Old
Yeah.
Suzuki, a fucking actual killer. Our next match was John Wayne Murdoch defending the GCW Ultraviolent Championship against Hoodfoot.
This show's about to take a turn.
All right, and I feel like we've officially hit the point of the podcast where you're going to hear Cortland say some not great things about the rest of the matches.
Actually, you guys will be surprised, man.
Carlin
We
shut
talked
his
about this.
fucking brain off for the next two.
But
See? Look at them underestimating you, bro. Keep it shut.
it's good to see Hoodfoot in long tights and a shirt because Jesus fucking Christ, watching him do death matches in trunks was horrifying. Like, just fuck, man. This gets bloody quickly, and I don't know if anybody bleeds as well in death matches as Hoodfoot does. Like, he just wears it really well. He gets a pane of glass, sets it up in the corner, but Murdoch suplexes him through the glass for the pinfall to retain. Post-match, Murdoch calls Alex Colon a dumb bitch and says there's no way that Colon wins another tournament of survival as long as his heart is beating. He tells Alex...
He said,
maybe you can go for your 4-piece. Yeah.
"You already won 3, go for your 4-piece.
He says, Alex, if you think you're the best deathmatch wrestler in the world, follow that. And I don't know why he said that because this was 2 1/4 at best. Pat.
2 1/4 at best. It wasn't great, man, at all. And it's funny because the second death match was way better than this fucking
We're
match.
going to get there, dude, because he
And
said,
I'm not
Alex,
even
follow
gonna-
that.
I'm gonna wait on that. But yeah, it is what it is, bro. I'm not gonna shit on Hoodfoot at all. It just, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say because I don't really know what I fucking expected, you know? So 2 1/4 wasn't that great. Keep it moving.
Cortland.
2 stars. Keep it moving.
Ethan.
I'm gonna put some respect on both these sons of bitches. John Wayne Murdoch, this dude, in the middle of the match wasn't fucking phenomenal. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and jizz my panties over the shit.
Hey,
But,
I mean, I got love for John Wayne Murdoch. I do got love for both of them. Respect to both of them for the stuff they're doing. You know, this ain't for me.
No.
We don't move past
You know,
that.
like,
We're not interrupting jizz my panties.
hey, what?
He said, I'm
I'm
not
not-
gonna jizz my panties over this, and then you
Yeah.
jumped in.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry. Go ahead about your
no,
pants.
you're good. You're good. This is just your standard. Oh my god!
I hate
This is just your.
podcast. I hate this every week.
I'm sorry to John Wayne Murdoch and Hoodfoot for doing this during the middle of your match.
Go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah, to me, this was just your standard fucking death match. I've seen way worse death matches. You know, I've seen fucking terrible death matches where spots are stumbled through, fuck ups are happening. These dudes look like they barely know how to work. These guys just hit each other with tubes and glass. I mean, and I love the run both of them are on right now. So my rating could be biased from that. John Wayne Murdoch. I also found it interesting, and they mentioned it on commentary, that he wore a GCW shirt out, which I found interesting too, because kind of this whole story, you know, John Wayne Murdoch's been an IWA Mid-South King of the Deathmatch guy since like 2013, 2014, you know, so that's why Alex Colon's always like, this is my house you're in. I'm CZW, GCW, you know, I mean, they're kind of from different areas of the deathmatch world, which is kind of, you know, this has been one of the most consistent little feuds of the year so far, and I mean, considering how much blood they've shed over it, I can't see how you can't say it hadn't been one of the best little feuds on the indies, because they've given it everything they fucking had.
They're actually trying to kill them, like kill each other, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
For real. And then Hoodfoot, he's someone that I didn't see until this year, and I just really love Hoodfoot. I think the dude, and even though this isn't a match, I would show somebody if I'm trying to get him into Hoodfoot or John Wayne Murdoch. You know, this just kind of just felt like an exhibition. You know, there wasn't much story. There wasn't much, you know, it was just a death match, you know, tubes, glass, blood, nothing really in between. That's it. But 2 3/4 for the fact that they fucking stood up there and did that shit. And it, you know, it never looked like something you'd see out at the carnival. You know, it was professional deathmatch wrestling, done just fine. Nothing to write home about. Nothing I will ever watch again. But just fine. And the next match does indeed top it. But that's because Alex Colon's the best deathmatch wrestler in the world, aside from Drew Parker.
Yes!
So,
yes! Say that shit louder. God damn, yes.
So,
Woo,
yeah, man.
Sorry.
2 3/4 from me. These boys just bashed the shit out of each other with tubes and glass. That's it.
Casey.
I gave it a gentleman's 2. Literally, my main note is everyone in this at Harpo's has cancer from inhaling that much fluorescent light tube fumes, because it was just light tube, light tube, light tube, light tube, pane of glass, light tube. It was just like, how much fucking shards of glass can we cover this mat in? Like, yeah, there's no hate against either one of the boys that are in this, but it just felt like it was like, how much shit can we break in a short amount of time?
Right.
But what death matches pretty much aren't more than that? Not arguing your point, but I mean that's kind of just all most of them are. It's just
but like looking at, and we'll obviously get into the next match, but like looking at them side by side and them literally having the same shit readily available, like
for sure.
If someone was like, I really want to watch like a death match, like that, the next match is arguably a decent match to show someone for a first time to be like, it gets a little fucking nutty, but like it's got a little bit of everything involved. Versus this one was just like fucking breaking it. I'm gonna fucking jab you in the forehead with it, and I'm gonna grab another light tube, and I'm gonna do it again. So
yeah, Alex Colon always makes it where the match feels logical. You know what I mean? So anyway, go ahead.
Like
it feels like a fight.
Yeah, and like also like, not to jump ahead, but like Jimmy Lloyd fucking surprised the shit out of me throughout this. So like, yeah, but it's a gentleman's 2 on this one, and you shouldn't have fucking said top that, because
They did great job, dipshit. That's what we call in the business foreshadowing. Our next match was Alex Colon defending his TNT Extreme Division Championship against Jimmy Lloyd. And this was initially supposed to be Colon versus AJ Gray, but AJ had some travel issues, so Jimmy Lloyd was a last-minute fill-in. They didn't even sweep out the ring in between matches, which feels fucking wild to me.
They just had the refs stomp on bigger shards of glass.
Yeah,
just to fine him down further.
I love that Colon started wearing white jerseys because they get stained red almost immediately, and I just love that. I'm convinced that Jimmy Lloyd was intending to kill Alex Colon during moments of this match, because specifically the glass pane spots that Alex takes are fucking crazy. Jimmy hits a package pile driver on a bundle of light tubes for a near fall, which feels fucking wrong to type, like that happening on light tubes.
I literally thought that was going to be the end of the match. I was like,
Yeah.
You gonna give him a 2 count on that shit?
Colon hits a Death Valley driver from the apron to the outside through a glass pane / door combo, then hits a double stomp through a glass pane onto Lloyd for the victory. There was no audio at the end, but it seemed like the ref maybe fucked up the finish. Because
so hold on, I don't mean to cut you off. So yeah, they fixed the audio. They have fixed the audio because like we watched it like right before we started going, and all the audio is like up and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just earlier it was fucked. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it looked like the ref fucked it up. But it was fun. Post match, Alex cuts a promo, I guess, because we still didn't have any audio on mine.
Oh, okay. They had fixed it.
We get I guess John Wayne Murdoch came back down because it was no signal for me. Murdoch calls the fans dumb fucks, which popped me big. He says that Alex can only have a spot in the tournament of survival or his title shot, but that he can't have both. Colon says, I'm not a pussy like you, but I'll accept. And it looks like they're going to do Cage or Survival in Atlantic City in a month and a half. I went 3 1/4 on this. Cortland.
I enjoyed this match. Surprisingly, it felt like they had a little bit of chemistry in there. They told a story throughout all the glass and tubes and all the hokey stuff.
The fuckery, if you will.
Yeah, but
carny bullshit.
but they did cool shit, man. The crowd was really behind it. There was a lot of emotion. They wore it all. It felt like they just tore it up, especially after the last death match that we saw. And when you're getting ready to, you know what to expect for the next match, right? So like this one just feels really cool, knowing that you have 2 death matches back to back, and like this one is by far the better one. I want to say like this is probably my favorite match on the card, surprisingly. It just feels cool. I love the Death Valley driver to the outside on that door and glass like sheet glass panel, and then him immediately grabbing him, throwing him inside, him just rolling under the other set of glass that's set up on the chairs, him double stomp that and get your immediate finish. I've said it before, but it's really important, and it tells a bigger story if you're doing something on the outside. If you rush and pick that person up and throw them in the ring, immediately do your next spot and go for the finish. It means nothing if you're just doing this spot for no reason and there's no follow through or anything to bring up with it. So I thought they got in, got out. The promo felt cool. Murdoch's an asshole, and that crowd ate that shit up, dude. I think every time he said, but listen, the crowd just lost their shit. He's like, hey, I'm talking, you idiots. Hey, man, listen. And it's just a bunch of him looking around at people freaking out. So it's good crowd work. I love Alex Colon being an asshole, too, and just being like, I'll fight you anywhere, anytime. I don't care where it's going to be. It can be right now. I don't care. I got blood all over me. And he's like, stop. Why are you so vicious? And like he tried to hand him a light tube and started cracking him over himself, obviously. But like he tried to hand him one, and he like Murdoch got tricked and like reached for it at first and was like, oh wait, no.
I just want to say Carlin has fucking mentioned the doing shit to the outside of the ring thing so many fucking times, and so for a fucking death match to deliver on the thing that you've always wanted in matches is mind-blowing to me.
Well, the thing is, Alex Colon is just as good as Roderick Strong at fucking being urgent. It's urgency. Alex Colon is urgent. Alex Colon makes you feel like you're watching a man who really wants to beat someone's fucking ass.
Alex Colon does not need to do death matches. He just chooses to.
Yes. Exactly. That's the way he wants to.
And that's the crazy thing about him. And that's why I love his work. Is honestly because you don't have to be a deathmatch wrestler. You just choose to be. It's kind of like John Moxley and the same thing. Same thing with Homicide. Like, and Hernandez, like, you don't have to do this stuff. You
choose
love
to.
brutality.
Yeah.
You
This
know,
is your
you
shit.
love to do this shit. This is your.
And you can just look at, the night before this, Alex Colon and Tony Deppen, they didn't do a death match. You know what I mean? And that was just super well worked. Alex Colon's just phenomenal professional wrestler. Period, point blank. Death match or not.
Definitely, man. So I mean, I would love to see him do a tournament style that's like not death matches, or him go do something somewhere else just for a little bit. Just go have fun, man. And see what you can do against what people consider the best. I think people would be shocked to see what you can really do in your standard set of rules in pro wrestling.
Alex Colon, best of Super Juniors. Let's go.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
So what'd you go on this court?
Did I not say it
already?
I'm gonna give this 3.5.
I like it. Ethan.
And I did make an error earlier. I went 2.5 on the last match, not 2 3/4. So I did say the wrong thing. Not taking back any of the defense I had for it, but I did say the wrong thing. This match, definitely the superior of the 2 death matches on the show, which I don't know if I necessarily expected, because it was more of a thrown together thing. But at the same time, like we said, Alex Colon is just, I mean, between him and Drew Parker, I don't know who is the best deathmatch wrestler in the world right now. Alex Colon is somebody who didn't fully get toward the top of my list until I started watching GCW within the past year. He's somebody that I used to see in CZW. And I thought he was fine in his realm of things, but then I start watching him this year, and every single match he has me, hook, line, and sinker. And then you see him live and the energy he gives up, and then just the urgency in all his matches. I'm like, wow, this is a different Alex Colon than I saw in 2013 working CZW. This Alex Colon knows what the fuck he's doing right now, which isn't something I expected, and I hate to say that I thought he was going to get worse or something, but I just never thought anything second thoughts about him over the last 9 years. And then to come back last year and see him become so fucking good, it's just awesome. He's always a highlight of these shows, and y'all said all there really is to say about this match. Jimmy Lloyd, they mentioned he was the youngest fucking guy or something to main event Cork and Hall for Big Japan or something.
Yeah.
Which is fucking wild. So now
it's a weird sentence.
Damn,
it's such a weird sentence.
Yeah, me being a big Japan head, like I started going on Cage Match, finding the fucking ones he did. I want to go back and watch some of those shows because that's fucking crazy. Dope as fuck. But yeah, 3 1/4 from me. And after the match, I loved John Wayne Murdoch. Just the whole thing they did after that match was just so
fucking awesome. Like, really, him reaching for that light tube and then pushing it away like he's trying to trick him is so fucking funny.
Well, because at that point, fucking Colon had already smashed like 3 on his fucking head. Just like, let's fucking go, pussy.
You can crack. He's like, you can crack every damn light tube in this bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So my only
every light move in this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck.
My only worry now is what they're gonna do in Cage of Survival, because we saw them in January rip each other open, and it's to maniacs like this, they're gonna cap this feud off bigger than anything they've done yet.
Like, I don't want them to fucking kill each other, man.
No,
and I'm worried.
And I'm worried.
Mike will be in attendance for Tournament of Survival and Cage of Survival.
Hey, Mike, what was that quote from Slade on Twitter today?
Oh, hold on.
He wants murder to be legal in
yeah. Dude,
he's talking about that match.
That shit was murder should be allowed in wrestling is such a good quote.
I want in Tournament of Survival, just because me and Michael will be there 5th row.
Oh my God, Drew Parker Slade. Is that what you're about to get at?
Slade, that's literally what I was gonna fucking say. I want it all.
Wow.
Tournament of Survival weekend. Let's fucking go.
Listen, man, Pat, I need you to just dial in for just a quick second. I promise I'm gonna get it to you, Casey, and then I'll get it to Pat.
That's fine.
I need you to watch Tournament of Survival because Drew Parker will be in the States for it looks like a couple weeks. Looks like he's coming in like mid-May. doing some LA shows with GCW, and then like heading down and doing Atlantic City too. Drew Parker is 24 and is already in consideration as one of the best, if not the best, deathmatch wrestler in the world. 24.
Just look up his shit in Big
fuck?
Japan.
Um,
Just look up his shit in Big Japan.
he's a goddamn lunatic, and I have never been more excited to see somebody live. But you'll understand when you watch the matches in May, and you'll be like, dude, could you imagine him against Slade? Like, that would be fucked up. Anyway, Casey.
This was a very fun match of just because you're not in the match doesn't mean that you're not going to be a part of the match.
Yes.
The crowd had full participation throughout, and those are my favorite. Also, just like, I don't know, when like people are coming to the outside and you're sitting down, can you just fucking get out of the goddamn way? Like, the amount of times that like the ring crew had to be like, fucking move to people was... There's fucking glass panes everywhere. There's just glass. Get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, Jimmy does like a Death Valley driver and is like, move.
He has him. He literally has him on his shoulders, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of the way!" And they have a sheet of glass propped up against the stage wall. And he's like, "Fuck you!" And people were like, "Oh my god!" Like a last second.
Dude, I wish he just did it.
Nobody fucking knew where he was going. No one knew that shit was over there. They were like,
I just wish he would have done it anyway. Who gives a fuck?
Honestly, I didn't know they set it up either, so I was like, "What the fuck is he doing?" And I was like, "When the fuck that get there?" Because the glass is shattered. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, that popped me big. I was like, what the fuck?
Like, so, not to spoil anything, but for the next match, they remove all of the chairs on the floor. And I honestly feel like for these two death matches, they should have just got rid of them. They should have just moved all the fucking chairs. The standing room only would have been easier. There's the Cologne giving Jimmy the neck breaker with the light tube sitting like this on his shoulders, and then I believe is it a German in response that Cologne takes, because they do them back to back basically, and like they both
like one was like a stunner ish.
Yeah, like cutter ish.
Like a cutter.
It was like a neck breaker is what Jimmy took, but then I think he gave him a suplex in response, doing the same move. But like,
and then he hit him with that fucking flawless fucking Falcon Arrow.
Dude, there was just some like weird moments where it's like you're watching this fucking death match, but then they're pulling out these moves, and you're like, you don't have to fucking cut yourself anymore. Like, you don't. Like, that shit was cool, and it was like so unexpected throughout it that like it made it so much more enjoyable. And then like God damn it, Alex Cologne is fucking great at what he does. It's fucking scary as shit to watch. But, and then, he's a fucking lunatic at the end where he literally is grabbing the ref and he's like, "You're not going anywhere. I'm having another fucking match." And then he calls out the pussy John Wayne Murdoch and is like, lays his towel down. He's like, "Title for title. Winner takes all." And then that's when we get our whole, I don't want to do it right now. But like, it was fun as shit. I gave it a 3 1/4. Like, it was, good Lord.
Pat?
They topped it.
3.5 stars is what I gave it. And yeah, they definitely topped the match before. This match was sick. I enjoyed it from beginning to end, and it's funny, dude. I try to watch all matches like in the moment, but sometimes I'll be doing shit. And like when this match initially started, and I first watched the pay-per-view, I was like, man, I'm doing shit. I'm going to listen. Like, I'm not going to be too glued in until fucking Alex Cologne hit that tope suicida with the fucking light tubes.
Which is like a minute in.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I'm about to watch the fuck out of this shit. I restarted the match, and then I fucking just like was glued.
Hold up.
And it's like, I was like, hold the fuck up, hold the phone. And then I restarted the match, and I just watched that shit glued. And it's just like, it's good, bro. It's real solid shit. Alex Cologne is like they say Nikki's the god of this shit. Alex Cologne is an artist. He is an artist of this violent shit, bro. He mixes the two so well, pure wrestling and deathmatch wrestling, and it's like, it's subtle, but it's not fucking subtle. Like, he's letting you know, like, I am the fucking best at this shit, bro. Like, you want deathmatch wrestling? Well, you're going to get deathmatch wrestling. Everything I'm going to do is going to make sense. Yeah, it might be a little excessive at times, but it's warranted from fucking storytelling and just match storytelling. Like, it shit just makes sense, man. And, like, Jimmy Lloyd really impressed the fuck out of me in this match. For him to take this match short notice, one, is crazy as fuck because I think he only had, like, a day's notice. And, like, for him to wrestle the way he did in this match is fucking nuts. Like, he's one of those dudes where, like,
a lot of respect for Lloyd.
I have a lot of fucking respect for Jimmy Lloyd, man.
Crazy bastard.
Yeah, he pulled out all the stops in this match, man. He made both of them look great.
Deadass. Like, I mean, he took the words right out of my fucking mouth. Like, he made them both look great, man. Like, it was just great. It was a good fucking match, dude. I don't really have too much to add. I feel like we've been talking about this match for a smooth 20 minutes now. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's about it. 3.5 stars.
Moving on, we get to our main event, which was the Briscoes versus SGC in a high incident match. My first note, well, the ring crew cleared up the ring quite a bit for our main event. The high incident match will end when a participant is thrown through a table from the scaffold. Thanks for the info, MLJ. Appreciate that.
Twice. He said that shit twice.
He did.
Thrown through a table from the scaffold.
Casey, I know you wanted to say something. So go ahead.
If you looked from when they were like, while he was doing his announcement, if you looked on the floor, there's glass everywhere. They just fucking push broom that shit out as fast as humanly possible.
And then set up some tables.
And then they were like, fuck it, it's good enough.
Mark Briscoe tries to Death Valley Driver Justice through a table. The table doesn't give. So then he just does a coast to coast and just kicks Matt Justice's shit in.
I am the table.
In a spot that looked miserable.
That is the Briscoes.
Bent him in fucking half, dude.
If someone ever asked
I don't know
me
how your foot didn't break. And his sternum didn't break.
He did it, and then he got up and looked at that table like, what the fuck?
Ethan, I know you want to say something. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if someone ever asked me, what's up with the Briscoes? What do they do? I wouldn't show them this whole match. I'd show them that. Just that. Oh, Death Valley Driver. Oh, that didn't work. Let's, goddamn, man, do that. Do that. Right again. Then he's going to just say, all right, we're going to do Shane McMahon. It's just like, that's the Briscoe brothers.
So, finally, Briscoe powerbombs Matt through the table, and the crowd loses their fucking mind over it. Justice hits a
table.
They're happy for him. They're like, yeah, he did it.
Matt Justice and Mark Briscoe were on a collision course with death in this match.
It was crazy, man.
You had Justice hit a Russian leg sweep off part of the scaffold through a table on Mark Briscoe. Through two tables, rather.
Through two tables,
This got some "This is awesome" chants from the crowd, and I'm sure that atmosphere live was fucking wild.
That's what I was saying about this pay-per-view when we were watching. I was watching back with Cortland. I was saying like this shit was like cool to watch, but I feel like this shit was so crazy live. Like this pay-per-view was probably fucking
chaotic as fuck.
Yeah,
Pat, I think you get it
to
now.
A show in Detroit for sure.
I think you get it now that the atmosphere with GCW really is important to these matches.
It is.
Like, being there really does make it way better. SGC chokeslam Mark through a table on the stage. Matt Justice, man, he takes chair shots like it's 2001. That motherfucker just eats them. Dude, like a nutcase.
Shout out to right like seconds prior to that choke slam though. They grab hard camera and they push the girl.
Yeah,
they're like, move. He was like, I need you to move. Choke slam.
Warner throws Mark Briscoe off the stage through a half broken table or some bullshit, and it looked actually like he tried to commit murder.
They broke the legs of it broke, and they were trying to set up for the table spot, and then they were like, it's fucking broken, but they're trying to move on, so they just like really quickly positioned it up against the side of the apron, and then they were like, "Go for it," and like almost killed Justice in the process. He's laying on the
like
bottom
right
of the
on
table.
top of him.
They make a comment because he's like laying on the bottom half, and they like yeet him right over. And they're like, "Thank God Justice was out of the way because he almost died."
Dude, the hard cam shows Jay and Mance Warner facing off in the ring, and you see GCW owner Brett Lauderdale standing there looking actually concerned. Like,
dude, he's like looking around the venue like, what the fuck are you motherfuckers doing?
Yeah.
This was a terrible decision.
Yeah, it made me laugh, man. Mark and Matt meet each other on top of the scaffold, and then both just kind of like agree to dive off, putting the other's tag partner through tables, and it ends as a draw. This is like a 3 3/4, but that finish fucking sucked ass cheeks. It's 3.5.
Literally.
3 3/4 from me all the way. I think this is another one of those examples where the Briscoes are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. They've been having crazy fucking matches of this style of the FTR match and in between since fucking 2004, man. Like, these guys have been doing this shit 18 fucking years, and those dudes bust their ass. They will bleed any given night of the fucking week to put a fucking story over that we're the Briscoes. That's the thing, man. You believe in the Briscoes. When you see those motherfuckers walk out, you believe. It don't matter if you've heard of them before. It don't matter if you say you don't really care for them. When they come through the curtain, you're invested because they are crazy as fuck. And so this match, it can get a little clunky. There can be things you can pick out about it, but at the end of the day, all four of these motherfuckers are crazy as shit, and I don't think anyone who will ever shit on this match would want to be in a room one-on-one with any of them. So yeah, shut the fuck up if you're gonna shit on it. That's my take for the week, all you fuckers out there on internet land. So,
Casey.
yeah, man.
Talk your shit. Talk your shit, boy.
Go ahead.
I'm not a guy to really run down spots in a match. So I'm not going to do none of that. But, I mean, this match fucking ruled. Everybody's gushing. Jay Briscoe, one of the best bleeders in pro wrestling, period. Just straight the fuck up. That man, from the moment I saw Samoa Joe bust him open in the steel cage in 2003, I was like, this dude's a fucking gusher. 19 years later, here's Jay Briscoe gushing in fucking GCW in Detroit. The same fucking way he did.
When they start working the outside at the beginning of the match, and he just kind of comes in a camera frame covered in blood, I was like, what the fuck happened? I was like, what did I miss?
Man's carving him with a fucking edge of a table.
So we're like 2.5 minutes into this shit, and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
And then as far as the finish goes, I saw people bitching about the finish before I even watched it, so I was kind of prepared for, I guess, a letdown. But it is what it is. I mean, I feel like they're going to do a Cage of Survival. That's what I was telling Mike and them before this. I don't think you're just going to have Cologne Murdoch Cage of Survival. I think you got to do Briscoes SGC. Those are the two feuds they've been building all year. Because, we've seen Briscoes and SGC a couple times now. And you've had 2 draws, which does suck and is odd. Considering GCW, it's an odd booking choice for sure. But I'm going to say that I trust them enough to pay it off well. I trust the Briscoes and SGC enough to see it through before I cast too much of a judgment on it. But yeah, man, Briscoes, if FTR's tag team of the year, Briscoes number 2 for sure. They've just came back into prominence. Being in ROH kind of killed their buzz for maybe 5 or 6 years. But I'm glad they're getting to come back out and say, hey, motherfucker, like, we still out here and we're still willing to get crazy as fuck for this pro wrestling shit. So, 3 3/4 from me. Yeah, man, I'm ready to see these 2 motherfuckers have the final chapter because I know there's no way we're done. There's no way we're done.
Now, Casey.
I do want to say this weekend it's going to be the Briscoes versus SGC versus Bussy in like a 3-way tag match. So I think it's going to lead into probably one of them fucking the other one over, and then it will probably push us into getting your wonderful Cage of Survival. Yeah, my brain just stopped working for half a second. I gave it 3.5. I am not happy with it being considered a draw. In all fairness, Justice hit first.
Yep.
So if we're gonna go with that route, technically they won. I had saw on Twitter someone was like, when I hear "Walk" by Pantera in ECW, they go, "Oh, Rob Van Dam, this is gonna be fun." And then they're like, when I hear it in GCW, they're like, someone's gonna fucking die. I understand that like we need the whole visual aspect of the high incident to have all the tables in there. I personally probably wouldn't have put them all in the ring to start off. I will say Mark and Justice being across from each other, doing a stare down, and Mark takes that table and throws it into his fucking face. Funniest fucking thing of the night. Because Werner and Jay, they look over like, holy shit. They're like, I guess we're fighting now. And then they go into it. Why did it have to be a draw? Overall, I mean, like thinking of like longer term booking here, I get it, but like it's just still weird considering the type of match it is. You almost feel like this would be a blow off match for like their final thing. So it's like, I guess we're just gonna get fucking more insane from here. But it's fun. It's fucking chaotic as shit. They get cursed with the Sabu table where it just fucking breaks. The whole railing on the bottom of it just fucking snaps off. It's fucking wild. But I mean, yeah, it's fun. 3.5.
I like it. Pat.
I went 3 3/4. I enjoyed the match. Honestly, from beginning to end, dude. It was. I didn't like obviously it ending in a draw. So I guess not from beginning to end, beginning to right before the end. But nah, I really fucked with the match, dude. I liked pretty much everything, dude. The whole them getting on everything that happened while they were on the stage was kind of hard to watch.
Chaotic.
It got real violent and real chaotic. Like it was just like the throwing of the chairs, the unprotected chair shot that fucking Mark took, where he just was like, my jaw dropped. I was just like, Jesus Christ. Then he takes the choke slam. Then Matt Justice grabs the camera and just goes, "This is what it's all about." Like, it was just like, it's just insane, dude. Then he fucking throws him off the fucking stage. Like, it was exactly what I expected from this match. Chaos and violence. So I can't really complain about it. 3 3/4. I really wish they didn't end in a draw, though. Probably would have been a 4-star match, in my opinion.
It's good shit. Cortland.
I gave it 3 stars, but I mean, I don't like this stipulation. I'm not someone who cares for something like this, so I'm not gonna like beat it up or, you know, there's not a whole lot of things I can say about it other than it's a whole lot of tables. It's high up there in the sky, and someone had to fall. And apparently no one had to win and no one had to lose.
Bro, I'm telling you,
So,
if I'm walking into work, right, I know that this is what we're doing tonight, and I get word that nobody's winning this match, bitch, I'm walking out.
There's no way I'm going through half the shit you want me to go through, and I'm not even going to get like a dub or a loser's pay.
Yeah, like
we
a
both
payoff
just get
at all.
like the same. Like that doesn't work out.
I mean, hey, they fucked each other up enough to where it made it compensated for pay.
It did. Dude, Mark takes a hell of a chair shot straight to the beam. On the stage, and god damn, dude, that thing made my head hurt. Yeah, man, I'm glad that everyone came out of this match okay. That's my main thing. I mean, I finally watched this match today at like 8:00. Because I've just kept pushing this off, man. This is not a match that I ever like want to just turn on in my living room, but I had to do it for this podcast. I'm glad that I did it because it's just another episode in the can for us. And but man, dude, even turning it on, I'd get knowing what had happened and seeing the internet and knowing that no one got seriously injured, I was still watching them come out, and I'm like, dude, why are you doing this? Like, this is an insane thing to want to do. Like, yeah, light tubes and thumbtacks and barbed wire. Hell yeah, man. Do it up, rip your flesh off. But like, to take that fall for like the bare minimum. Like, this isn't a King of the Ring Mankind payoff where like you're gonna get health care forever because you took a bump for some guy 20 years ago. Like, you're gonna look back on this in 20 years and be like, I got paid $50 and a Big Mac.
You got my plane ticket. They got to pay more than 50.
I know. I'm just.
They got paid good, man. They're gonna take care of the.
I hope they do.
I will say.
I don't know what they pay.
Mance's table positioning was fucking scary close to the fucking ropes, and that worried the fuck out of me. I was like, that's not good.
Yeah, my main thing about death matches is that as the participants, I just hope that you're getting paid good and that you're taking care of your health and, all that shit. Like, pro wrestling is great. It's fantastic. Deathmatch wrestling is something different. To me. I don't think that, like, ripping your body apart, like your skin apart with barbed wire is exactly, like, the dream.
Shit.
But,
Sound like a dream to me.
Hey, man, it's a dream to some people.
It definitely is. But like I said,
I know. I was about to say some flavor shit. I'm gonna just shut the fuck up.
Hopefully, who you're doing it for pays you great. You're happy doing it. You're healthy. You're never forced to like into a match, a stipulation like this that you don't want to do. And like I said, I'm glad everyone's okay. And if this shit's selling, keep doing it, dude, because you definitely got a demographic for it. You got a crowd for it that loves to see it. I'm just one of the million who doesn't want,
Yo, if you're a deathmatch wrestler listening to this podcast, Patty Mills will watch you kill yourself, and he will pay good money to do it.
Literally, just about everyone but Cortland will watch it.
Yeah. Real quick, I was just looking at GCW's Twitter just to see what's been said. So it looks like May 21st, Drew Parker got signed to wrestle Joey Janela.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Joseph Janela. And Drew Parker quote tweeted it and said, "Los Angeles, after I'm done with Janela, I'll be donating his remains to the Museum of Death."
Jesus fuck. Joseph, don't show up.
Here's what I'll tell you about Drew Parker, and I'm not going to give you any context on top of this, Pat, but darts. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Okay. I didn't watch some Drew Parker matches, man.
Watch the Alex Colon match from Homecoming last
I'll
year.
make sure that you're able to watch it. I will get it to you because it's a blast, man. It was so good.
He'll get it to you legally.
That concludes this week's episode of the Up and Over Podcast. As always, upandoverpodcast.com for all your Up and Over Podcast merchandise. On there, you will also find Up and Over Breakdown, which is where typically it's Casey, Cortland, and I. Sometimes Ethan pops in on there with us. We go through and we watch your favorite matches, so we just need to know your favorite matches. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, at Up and Over Pod. That's where you'll be able to tell us your favorite matches. Comment it down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, if you wouldn't mind leaving a 5-star rating for us, just brings us up the algorithm, makes people find us a little bit easier. Tell your friends, tell your family to listen to us, and yeah, that's it. Next week, what do we have on deck, fellas? Does anybody know? Is it Backlash?
Yes, sir. I believe. What year are we doing? 2002? Just 2001?
I think it's 2000.
2000?
I think so. I think that's what we decided on.
I think it's two-man power trip. Sorry,
here's the deal.
Two-man power trip.
It's a surprise to us, which means it's going to be a surprise to you. So you guys,
you like that?
You guys enjoy your week, and we'll see you back here next week for WWF. I refuse to call it WWE. Fuck that. WWF Backlash from some year. Guys, enjoy your week.
Get the F out.
And yeah, y'all be good. Fuck the
Bussy.
bully.